understand that?
You understand this better than anybody.
Live from the new kingdom. It's the Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast.
What's that call my mom?
Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
Hey, everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray. My name's Midnight Mike. Joe is over there on screen.
Go back to work.
On something.
We have no Cratchit. He has fiber problems. I don't know what that means other than he's having internet problems. And he says he won't be able to get good internet until sometime next week, maybe?
Good internet.
So, yeah. No Cratchit. We miss him. We miss his wacky news, his even-handed takes on what's going on in the world. So, he'll be back. Don't worry, people. He'll be back soon enough.
Yes.
I got a lot of things to get to today. Got some interesting news, somewhat, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's not interesting at all.
Let's just hang it up. Go back to bed.
I don't know. I'll be playing my first show in almost 10 years tonight, dressing up as a Viking.
As one does.
Storming the stage and playing songs that are about dragons, forging fire, and forging with fire, I should say. And dragons and shields and swords and stuff. So,
midlife crisis is what you're saying.
I think so. I think someone in the band is going through a midlife crisis. Yes, it's not me. It could be. I might be in the middle of a midlife crisis. I don't know, but definitely, I would say the guy who put this together. He's 50.
Uh-huh.
He's 50. He just got out of a marriage not that long ago. And so he wants to put the band back together to play one last show.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm not looking
Did
forward.
he buy a Miata yet?
Well, he's in midlife crisis. I don't know if he's turning gay, but I think he's just turning 50.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to playing the show. It's just the before and after, like moving heavy equipment and then tearing it all down.
Oh, yeah.
I'll post pictures.
Yeah,
if someone takes pictures, I'll post it in the Discord. Maybe there'll be a video of it. We've been practicing, so this will be my first sober show.
I was going to ask about that. Do you have to do drugs to do this?
No, you don't have to, but it does help. Specifically, drinking. I've always played shows while consuming large quantities of alcohol. It's been very rare that I've been completely sober during a show, and this will mark probably the first time that I've done it. So I'm sure I'll play much better. I don't know if I'll enjoy it as much, but I'll play great. All right, let's do some news. Let's just hammer through this. We'll take some phone calls at a certain point in time, and let's just try to have a good Saturday.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Hi, Mark.
He's Mark Brown. Hi, Mark Brown. Well, we have a brand new batch of Pentagon UFO files. This is number 5 from the Pentagon, the Department of War, that is releasing these files and just saying, here you go. You make of it what you will. We're not really commenting either way on this.
Don't believe the 5.6.
This is the fifth time. I will bring up just the article, then I'll bring up CBS News talking about this crap. And because it is frustrating at this certain point in time. People who are initiated in this topic, they want more, they're not getting more. We want the movie just to progress plot-wise, but it's not happening. So here's the article right here. The latest selection of files includes a cache of 12 previously unseen videos of mysterious objects sighted around the world. The publication of the U.S. government's secretive UFO files seem to be showing signs of slowing down, as evidenced by yet another release. This time featuring 41 files. Oh, I'm sorry. Shows no signs of slowing down. They're coming at you whether you like it or not. One of the videos shows a strange object described as a cold orb that was said to be 4 feet in diameter and capable of flitting around in irregular patterns. I guess this kind of dancing around, like moving erratically.
Maybe even prancing.
Possibly prancing.
Yeah.
That would certainly indicate that it was a little more flamboyant or dainty in its orbiness. It was captured in, I guess, over the Gulf of Oman in 2021. That's the Gulf of Oman, isn't that near Iran? That's
all about that.
Yeah. Another video included in the release was it shows a round sphere-shaped object that was observed flying in a straight line over an urban area somewhere in the Middle East. More Middle East stuff. I guess that's the hot spot. I guess, and also we probably have a lot of cameras there taking a look at stuff. So
a little bit.
The files also included testimony of a pilot who first observed something strange during a flight between Boston and Dublin back in 2023. So these are some pretty recent sightings. Let's listen to CBS and what they have to say. This is Avi Loeb, which I guess he's the go-to guy for CBS Evening News when it comes to explaining what's in these files, what's important. And do we have any sort of is there anything to be concerned about specifically? I don't think Avi Loeb is going to tell us everything, but he might tell us something. Here we go.
The Pentagon has released a new batch of documents and images related to unidentified flying objects. This is now the 5th release under an executive order President Trump signed back in January. It directed the military and other agencies to release more UFO files. So let's bring in Avi Loeb, chair of the UAP Science Council to the U.S. government. So, Avi, let's talk about this. What stands out to you in this new batch of UFO files? I see you smiling.
This fifth tranche of UAP data that was released today is different from past releases because there are 3 remarkable anomalies that are delivered in verbal testimonies rather than digital data in the form of imagery or video as we have seen before. In fact, I first tried to look for those images or videos, but they were quite disappointing. Instead, the 3 remarkable testimonies are as follows. One of them is talking about a gunship that on September 2021 was conducting a live fire exercise in the Gulf of Oman and noticed 25 instances of unidentified objects that looked like cold orbs, and they appeared to react to the aircraft firing and were moving together just like dolphins at a speed of up to 1.7 times the speed of sound. So it could be a very unusual swarm of drones, but at that speed, it's really difficult to understand them in terms of known technologies. Then there is a second report which talks about an analog clock that went faster by 20 minutes relative to 2 digital clocks after an encounter with an unidentified anomalous phenomena. And that's very strange. It only happened during that time, and 20 minutes, a significant time difference. Then a third testimony by the FBI. It deals with 2 American pilots that were flying over Afghanistan, and they witnessed a craft that measured 500 feet and moving at a speed of 150 knots, which is 77 meters per second. The problem is that there is no existing operational aircraft that matches this size and speed. The largest aircraft ever built spans about 385 feet.
I'm going to cut it right there. new information, I guess, somewhat interesting, but it's not moving the ball. And for Trump to do this, and this is Trump's doing with the Department of War of some sort of, it's not even, I guess it's disclosure to a certain degree. They're trying to say that there are things in our sky that we can't really account for, or we're refusing to account for. It's not moving the ball for anybody on the ground as far as I'm concerned. And I'm deep into the UFO stuff. And releasing this information is not any sort of acknowledgement. And even billionaire Robert Bigelow, as I talked about last show, he told the president exactly what to say. Acknowledge that there is a presence on Earth of some non-human intelligence that has been here just as long, if not longer, than humans. And for this is number 5. Typically, I would assume that the information would get more and more revealing as the batches go on to kind of acclimate people to this weird situation, but it's not. I don't think this file or this drop number 5 is any different or any more revealing than drop number 1. It's just more. And there's not been any statement from the government saying, okay, you know what? You guys have had enough to digest. Here's what we know. This is the situation. We're not getting that at all. And they started doing this back in, I would say, May. We're almost at the end of the summer here, Joe. And we bombed Iran equally as long as they've been releasing UFO files. I think they've been bombing Iran longer. So, and we both made the same amount of progress on both fronts. Nothing.
Yep.
So here's the situation. As far as from everything that I've read, which probably includes a good chunk of books that are CIA disinformation, I believe the situation is as simple and as follows, and this might be upsetting for people to hear, but this is the best way I can describe it. The U.S. government and probably most governments around the world have been infiltrated by some sort of non-human intelligence, and they're working in conjunction to control humanity, to lead us down a path of human technological hybrid organization, something like that. They want us into some kind of hive mind. And it probably goes through like the Georgia Guidestones, where they do want to carve down or limit the amount of human population to 500 million. And it's not about destroying humanity. It's about control. For whatever reason, when it comes to everything that humanity does, they need it in some way. Whether it's the ruling elite or this weird intelligence, they need humanity around because we're still here. They could take us out at any time. Same with the ruling elite. They could be done with us, and we're here. I don't know why.
I think they need a slave class until the robots get really good. I think they need a slave class, and they need breeders to have. I mean, they're not going to drink their own baby's blood. They need, Haitian poor people, stuff like that.
It is a weird situation where, like, I didn't want to necessarily believe that there is a secret society pulling the strings behind the scene in order to elevate themselves and create an underclass of basically serfs and slaves, but that does appear to be what's happening. Even when it comes to like data centers, and more specifically around here in Ohio, they're building data centers, but in conjunction, they're also building roadways and through farmland. And there were multiple votes on whether or not these data centers are going in and if they're going to put roadways in through farmland. And I think everyone around here voted no. We didn't want to carve up farmland for new freeways and highways, regardless of what they said it would alleviate traffic concerns. But they're doing it anyways. It just seems as though whoever's at the top is doing things regardless of what the public wants. Even when it comes to flock cameras, obviously there's a huge backlash against flock cameras, but they're doing it anyways. You have city councils voting against it. And then you have the mayor saying, no, we are still going to do this. They don't care about public opinion. It was never about democracy. They're going to rule the way they want to rule you, regardless of how you feel.
Yes.
It goes for this.
Yeah, we should find that. Was it Larry Ellison who says people are going to be on their best behavior as
long as they're tracked and traced, and every movement is accounted for. And so whatever's behind this UFO release, it plays into, it's got to play into some sort of long-term goal. Whether it is they want a one world religion in a few years or a digital currency, or they want to be able to say, hey, there's aliens walking among us, so we have to make sure everyone is tracked and traced to make sure you're not an alien, whatever. I'm not seeing the philosophical debate of what humanity means in this universe being talked about. They're just still talking about blurry images and FLIR photos and all that stuff. But yeah, there it is. You can go to the secretaryofwar.gov and take a look at batch number 5. And we'll move on with some other stories here.
Do you want to look at the Larry Ellison thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see what Lucky Larry has to say about this.
A different Larry.
Oh, it's a different Larry. He's still lucky, though. This is the Oracle guy, right? Yeah, he made quite the chunk of change. Yeah, Oracle Larry.
Everyone would.
There we go.
Everyone would see it. Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on.
They're not.
Citizens will be on their best behavior.
They're not.
Because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Ellison's vision is for AI to analyze data from this network of cameras in real time in an attempt to prevent crime while also tracking and influencing public behavior for a safer society.
Let's do it.
However, the idea raises serious privacy concerns. Critics argue it could lead to a surveillance state with constant monitoring infringing on personal privacy rights.
Oh, no.
While others say it could help solve crimes faster and provide transparency to citizens in cases of excessive force from law enforcement.
We're going to
we can leave
supervision.
Hey, how many crimes has all this surveillance stopped? Because it really does seem like the first part is the one, the surveillance state. That seems like the thing they're really into.
I watched a lot of body cam recently. I'm watching like a YouTube channel called Civil Rights Lawyer or something like that. And it doesn't really seem to prevent the cops from doing crime or being heavy-handed. In fact, a lot of times...
Or solving crimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't help with that.
It seems like even with the AI, they take the word of the AI over their own eyes and experience, and they'll arrest people because the AI says it's the same person without them using any sort of critical thinking. So it seems like it's removing any sort of thought process that the police might have. So
if only we get some Ed 209 moments like we have in RoboCop. Go back and watch it, people. It is very violent, very gory. But in the original RoboCop, they unleash the Ed 209 in the executive suite, and it blows the CEO straight out the window after pumping him up with machine gun rounds.
Say what you want. At least it was a decisive decision maker. It stuck with the decision and it executed.
Fully committed. Yeah, that's the thing
committed.
Is like let's defer to the AI. Like I really do think that the combination of the flock cameras and the AI and Larry Ellison and these kinds of things that they're thinking, and who's that? Yuval Harari or whatever with the World Economic Forum. Like they all talk about it. Like this, literally what they want. Like let's lower the population thing. It's funny because they've said this forever. You know, these the eugenicists and so forth, Malthusians. It's hard to control a lot of people. So you just limit it down to enough to drink the baby blood. and then you monitor the rest and kill them. Like, if you look at it from their point of view, it's a very easy solution.
If you think about it from like just I guess an artistic standpoint, like one of the beautiful things about humanity is that it can be so random, and like we produce things like jazz or improvisation, where if everything is calculated and tracked and predictable, it removes any sort of perceived randomness that we might have that creates a happy accident or something interesting and new innovation, I would say. And it gets us more into a hive-like collective consciousness, like a top-down control, like communism or some sort of authoritarian state, where it is very oppressive and it doesn't really foment artistic creativity, spontaneity, all that kind of stuff. It's a very dystopian future, which doesn't really sound and seem too positive for us.
These people aren't, I mean, I don't know, man. I like beating a dead horse here, but like they're not into beauty.
Oh.
They're into destruction and dominance. You know, it's like, when they want, like when Netanyahu brags about trying to take control over TikTok, meanwhile going, we don't control the media. And it's like Ellison's buying all the media, like Netanyahu's openly saying we got to get rid of TikTok and everything. It's like, why do they want that? It's not because they want spontaneity, art, and beauty. It's because they want to lock it all down so you don't notice how sinister these people are. They want a world that they can control. It's really, it's just,
it's disgusting.
Sadistic. Yeah. It's really not, I don't want to live in that world, but I think they do. I like the world you described. I think the Star Trek socialism would work for me if we didn't have to work and we had like, you know, these whatever things that they had. Star Trek looks fun.
Yes.
Holodecks, yes.
You're out there exploring.
Earl Grey tea, right into my room. Whatever the hell Picard was doing. Who was it? Earl Grey?
Earl Grey tea, yes.
Yeah. And it would just be beamed into his room. Like, let's do that.
I would like that too. Yeah, it might be socialism, but at least you're out there expanding the human perspective, knowledge. You're exploring. You're pushing the boundaries of what we've seen before, interacting with different species, and hopefully a little bit more evolved. But that's not what they want from us.
The Captain Kirk version of interacting with different species.
Well,
like banging Martians or whatever the hell.
I mean, it's still a form of diplomacy.
Yeah. Does it have titties? Give me them titties. Give me them space titties. Let's figure this out.
Shut up, Wesley.
Where's my Picard Earl Grey hot? I guess I usually have my Picard Earl Grey tea hot. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I usually got it, but
I don't get the Earl Grey thing. I'd never really.
It's an English thing. I think Earl Grey tea is like super high in caffeine. Correct me if I'm wrong, English people, but I think it's like one of the higher caffeinated teas that there is.
It's the flavor is oil of bergamot or something.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
That is, yeah.
So they obviously want to create a technocratic hellhole for us to live in, and somehow UFOs, the belief in UFOs, is important to that because they're trying to sell us on this. It's not only the U.S. that's doing it. Japan's getting involved. China's throwing some stuff out there too. Russia's still staying quiet on this because they all know what's going on. We don't, but someone at the top. You can call it Men in Black, some sort of weird occult, but they know what's going on. But meanwhile,
I almost feel like they're just telegraphing it for like when they need to call an audible, when like the war isn't going right, or you know what I mean. Something.
Well, Joe,
else
it's not
happens.
going right. Like, is it going good right now? I don't think so.
No, but if it goes really, really, pear-shaped, like they've already telegraphed the aliens thing, so they don't have to tuck their tail and go, Jesus, we fucked that up. They'll just, how like when COVID ended because of George Floyd and then Ukraine started and all of it went away?
Yes.
It'll be like that.
Okay.
That's how the aliens will get out.
Well, maybe they'll use it like that. but I guess we'll change subjects just a little bit here. This is kind of a follow-up. So on the previous show, maybe like last time Cratchit was on, he found this clip from Trump talking about magnets. He said this.
And I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets. Do magnets, okay? I'll tell you how to make money. Do magnets. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Do magnets. Because one thing we don't have, but we're getting close, but do magnets.
So he's telling people to do magnets, okay? Well, Howard Lutnick hypes Don Jr.-backed magnet firm as Trump declares you got to go with magnets. So this is Trump promoting a family member here. So yeah, President Donald Trump offered an enthusiastic endorsement of magnets during a Friday State Department proclaiming you got to go with magnets. As Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick plugged Vulcan Elements, a company backed by Don Jr.'s venture capital firm. I wonder what these magnets are doing. Like, are they just making magnets? Are they selling magnets? Let's see here. I wonder if this is the same clip. I wonder if this is another clip of him talking about magnets and like it. I mean, I got to see if this is like the same clip or a new clip.
Department of War is also investing $150 million with Niron Magnetics in Minnesota. Minnesota? Wow. What the hell happened? Department of War is also investing.
You got to grab that one.
The governor's totally corrupt, but we won't talk about that now. That's for another day. Corrupt and incompetent, a bad combination. To build rare earth magnets. Magnets, you got to go with magnets. That's a good one. Everybody should go for magnets. Really badly needed. And Global Advanced Metals will build a major new factory in southeastern Pennsylvania.
So he's really pumping magnets right now.
Because Howard Lutnick must be telling him to. What is going on with this Lutnick Epstein? Like, the guy's a freaking creep, and he's still. You notice he's not on the video as much as he used to be.
No.
I think he got like somebody was like, dude. We know you're excited, but there's like a lot going on with you. We can't people are gonna ask questions and it ain't gonna be good. So just stand off stage, all right? And you can still do it. We got your magnet thing going. We got the investments going. It's so disgusting what Trump has become. You know,
it really is.
He just joined the club and he's just siphoning out as much as he can get anymore. It's like, oh my God, nothing will save us.
I don't know if he's probably always been like this. We just hope that he wouldn't be as much as what he once was during his presidency. Yeah. And something happened, and it probably does revolve around Epstein in his foreign policy choices, and even when it comes to dealing with Venezuela and Iran. These are not the policies we hoped that would take place. No. Obviously not.
No, nobody voted for magnets.
I don't know. I could be on board. I don't even know what these magnets do. But
no.
I have to wonder, is this part of the UFO story? How are magnets important to UFO propulsion? I don't know. Maybe Lutnick knows. In fact, someone should search the Jeffrey Epstein emails to see if Epstein was talking about magnets at all. I don't know. So Lutnick went on to boast about Vulcan Elements, the magnet company, the $1.4 billion invested also to build right here in the United States. Here, the Commerce Secretary refers to the 2025 deal between the Trump administration and the rare earth magnet startup, which, in Lutnick's words at the time, was meant to ensure America's supply chain is strong, secure, and perfectly reliable. Let's hear Lutnick talk about this.
Right then, of course, we're doing steel in Alabama. Right then, I mean, these are the first types of smelters and furnaces that America's had in 40 or 50 years.
Wow.
And it's only because of your leadership and the 232 tariffs, which you've been driving. So the CHIPS program, right, we gave Korea Zinc $7.4 billion to build a critical mineral smelter right here in the United States. Vulcan Elements, $1.4 billion, also to build right here in the United States.
So the Vulcan Elements, that is what Don Jr.'s venture capital firm is invested in. I would have to say that this is somewhat a conflict of interest. I know it's been happening in government for a long time, but it's not good. So there we go. That's what Trump was talking about. He was trying to give people a little wink, wink, nod, nod when it comes to where they should invest their money. It's magnets.
And I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets. Do magnets.
So,
okay, I'll tell you how to make money.
Okay. Lutnick is in his ear telling him about this. Don Jr.'s on board. Again, this is the most disgusting thing. But like, even Lutnick talking about it, you're like, the magnets, the smelters, like, what does that mean for me? What is the outcome here?
I don't know what is. Like, I don't know.
Right? It's like, yeah, okay. Like the average person on the street, the average Trump voter is like, what the hell is he talking? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You know what I'm going to do?
You know?
I fed ChatGPT this article. I was like, what are we doing with these magnets? If anybody knows, it's going to be my buddy ChatGPT. And if all else, he'll make up something that sounds somewhat plausible. So while he's debilitating or deliberating over that, let's move on to another story. I guess when it comes to the ruling elite and what's going on, got to pay attention, especially when it comes to where they're going, what they're doing. Use it as indicators of what might be going on in this crazy, wacky world. So here we go. Maybe they're going to where the magnets are. But here's the headline. There's a ranch in Argentina where tech CEOs plan to ride out the apocalypse. It's got to be a big ranch. It's probably got to be at least 100 acres for them to all ride out. Here we go. In the foothills of the Andes Mountains across an expanse of rugged terrain 5 times the size of Manhattan. Wow, that's pretty big.
Oh, really?
A group of entrepreneurs is preparing for the end. A handful of small prefab homes, geodesic domes, and an airstrip have sprung up in the past 2 years on a remote ranch in Argentina, an hour via dirt roads to the nearest village in the far west of Argentina. So that's deep in Argentina. You know, you're away from I think you're away from the coast at that point. Far from the world's nuclear superpowers and close to an abundant oil reserve in fertile plains of Argentina. This ranch was founded by Argentine Spanish tech founder, and so he is opening up his ranch to survive Armageddon. Quote, we're already in World War III. The battle lines are already drawn, he said over the phone to one of his other businessmen, saying that he describes a conflict that pits Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran against most of the rest of the world. It just makes sense to have a refuge, he says. Which I don't disagree with him. It does seem as though those lines are being drawn at this very point in time.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't even last Saturday we were looking for signs of World War III. Is our magnets one of those signs? I don't know. Maybe magnets is a very core piece of World War III. And by the way, so what does ChatGPT say about Trump's magnet interest?
Yeah. What is it?
So according to ChatGPT, the magnets Trump and Lutnick are talking about are primarily high-performance, rare earth, permanent magnets. Essentially, the important point is that this really isn't a new or exotic use of magnets. The U.S. wants large domestic supply of magnets that already sit inside an enormous amount of modern hardware. What they're used for, these magnets: drones, missiles and weapons, fighter aircraft, satellites, robotics, electronics, industrial motors, wind turbines, AI data centers, semiconductors, and consumer electronics. So why does the Pentagon care so much about this? The issue isn't that America suddenly discovered magnets is that magnets have become a strategic supply chain vulnerability. And, they may have talked about this in the NDAA of 2025 when they were saying that the supply chain for even pharmaceuticals in our medical supply chain and receiving a lot of our pills overseas was a strategic Pentagon supply chain risk, and so they sought to move things over here to mainland. And it also probably falls in line with computer chip manufacturing and why we have contracted some of those Taiwanese chip makers to start a plant in Arizona. And so when it comes to sourcing magnets, I think this falls in line with that. So this is a ramp up to a much more significant, probably global conflict. So we got to move these things home, ramp up production, and then World War III can officially begin.
That's kind of interesting because there's I guess he's a Mossad dude who was on Julian Dory. Yeah, they've got these like looks maxing young men doing these podcasts now. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but
it is.
He's not a dumb guy. This Julian Dory guy, I like his podcast. I've been listening to it, but this Mossad guy is talking about how the United States talks a big game about Taiwan, and they're protecting it. They're posting up, and they're not going to let China take Taiwan. But when you think about the magnets and the logistics part and the sourcing and everything, the argument this Israeli Mossad dude is making on the Julian Dory show is that the United States doesn't really care about Taiwan. And as soon as they can get the supply chain adjusted, so to speak, to basically source from another friendly area or bring it all into the fold of whatever the United States can do, they're just going to put their hands in the air and be like, go ahead, have it, China.
Oh, well.
And do what you want. And that does seem kind of right. And I do think there's something going on with what you're describing and what that guy on the Julian Dory was saying is like, you got to get all the pieces on the board where they need to be so that World War whatever can commence. But that same guy was saying that China and the United States will never get into a hot war.
No, what was his reason? Do you remember?
For China and the United States not to get in a hot war?
I mean, we're pretty interconnected economically. That's obvious. And it wouldn't look good if either side lost. It would be very demoralizing to the U.S. and China to get into this war and not win. So it's almost better if they never fight.
Well, and it's the idea, it's almost like the pro wrestling thing. Like, is there an adversarial relationship between the United States and China? Not really, because if they have all these sanctions and tariffs and everything, well, they don't really use those. This is the guy's argument on the show, is that they don't tariff like necessities. Like, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals that they just don't tariff because it's like what are you going to do if you can't get your boner pills or whatever the hell they're sending over? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, we can tariff a bunch of stuff. Like, you're not going to get your electric cars over here because we got plenty of those. We're making those. But we definitely need more boners. Yeah. So can you keep that coming?
That's a hot topic. People do like to have turgid boners at the drop of a hat. They like it.
They need them.
It makes them feel good. I get it.
Look, I've been there.
I know. We've all been there. It's nice, but I don't know if I'm going to, support total globalism just because of, rigidity.
Yeah. Right. Where do you draw the line?
You got to sacrifice, people. I'm doing this for America.
Yeah. I've gone soft for the States.
I've gone soft for America. So I guess while we march on to World War III, there has been a significant development in the Middle East when it comes to conflicts there. And there's been a brand new pact. So between Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan, they have agreed to a new alliance, which is kind of weird because Turkey is also in an alliance with, us via NATO. So they're like double pacting. It's almost like they're double dipping on pacts. And I don't know if I like it, but here is, I believe, CBS talking about this very issue right here.
Amid a raging war in the Middle East, a defense agreement has been signed between Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. Pakistan's foreign ministry says it's intended to strengthen collective deterrence against any act of aggression. CBS News senior foreign correspondent MTS Tayyab has more on what this means.
Well, look, this is probably one of the most consequential security realignments that we're seeing in the Middle East. The idea that Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan not only have a security pact with each other, but in it they also have something that's sort of being described as a NATO-style agreement, which is an attack on one is an attack on all. Now, why is that significant? Well, when it comes to Pakistan, Pakistan is the only Muslim majority country which has a nuclear arsenal. Saudi Arabia, of course, has very deep pockets. And when it comes to Turkey, Turkey not only has a lot of diplomacy, given its own connections and partnership with NATO, Europe, the US as well, but more importantly, Turkey is emerging as a major manufacturer of arms and weaponry. And so really what we're seeing is this incredible alignment sort of in the wake of President Trump's war on Iran, where countries, Sunni majority countries, Muslim countries, are deciding that they want to align with each other in order to defend themselves and their interests from potential threats. Now, to be clear, none of this would be happening without the tacit approval of the Trump administration. President Trump has made it clear that while he's quite happy to sell weaponry to these countries, he really wants to shrink the U.S.'s footprint in this region. And more importantly, he really wants to shrink this idea that the U.S. is responsible for the security of other countries. And I think this is a really big signal that that is happening in real time. Now, having said that, there are other countries in the region who are probably not going to be happy about this. Iran, of course, is one of them. But when it comes to Pakistan, that would be India. India and Pakistan, of course, have a notoriously bitter rivalry. They fought a war just 18 months ago. And so the security pact will certainly be concerning for them. But it's also likely to concern Israel as well. Turkey and Israel have become pretty bitter adversaries in the fallout of the Gaza war. And so for this pact to now have emerged between, again, Turkey, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia at a time when Israel really wants to normalize with Saudi Arabia, I think that's certainly raising some alarm bells in Tel Aviv. Back to you.
There we go. It's raising alarm bells in Tel Aviv. What about here? This is CBS Evening News. Is it raising alarm bells here in the United States? Apparently not, because Trump signed off on this. Trump likes this, even though it may stress or strain relations between us and India because Pakistan's in there, and they're still fighting over Kashmir for some reason. I mean, I know Kashmir is a beautiful place, but come on. So this is interesting. I don't know what this really means for us. Is it like if Iran accidentally strikes Turkey or Saudi Arabia, does this mean Turkey will and Pakistan will respond in full to go against Iran? Or what if Israel flies some drones into Saudi Arabia, like a false flag attack, and that's discovered? This protects Saudi Arabia from any sort of like false flagging from Israel, because you got Pakistan there, you got Turkey, which is no slouch. I don't know. This is like a weird alliance. That's I wonder how this really shakes out.
It's Israel's pretty. I feel like they've been pretty open about like we're gonna have to go to war with Turkey. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to pick a fight there.
Yeah.
And I think what you're describing seems like this hedge, an alliance to hedge, that it's like, look, we are arm in arm with whatever's going on with India, Pakistan, and whatever the nuclear capabilities are there, and Saudi Arabia, obviously, with the cash, however they fit in. But there was talk when the war was a little heavier with Iran about, well, what if Pakistan just slips them a bomb?
you know? Because what if they do? You know, it's like, Israel, you guys are being a bunch of dicks. So, like, what if somebody slips them a bomb? What they might. So stop being dicks.
It doesn't take a lot of people within the Pakistani military to funnel a few bombs out to Iran. That as far as I know, they have to rule kind of with an iron fist there. They have a bunch of different groups all vying for power, like any country, I imagine. And so they have to make sure that the right things are said and the right things are done, and right alliances are there. And, you know, it's just a wild time. And this goes back to the apocalypse bunkers that these tech CEOs are trying to build in Argentina. They're fleeing. The tech CEOs are fleeing to Argentina like Nazis after World War II. They're trying to find a safe place to ride this thing out. And this will bring up my next story right here, real quick. And I'll pass it over to Joe here soon. This is the brief one. I'm just going to bring up two more stories. And this is, I don't know if this is to be believed or just more FYI, but Russia, here's the headline here from the Telegraph. Russia could attack NATO within weeks, according to U.S. intelligence sources.
Tippy top.
I don't know. Like they were kind of right on about Russia attacking Ukraine. Are they seeing some sort of buildup on the border? What are we seeing here? So it says Russia could attack a NATO country within weeks to test the alliance's resolve, U.S. intelligence has warned. U.S. officials believe Russia may attempt to escalate tensions by mounting a small land incursion or launching cyber attacks across Eastern Europe anytime from this autumn to 2029. So there's a 3-year period that it could happen. Okay. That's just enough time for us to get those magnets up to speed. The report marks a significant shift in U.S. intelligence assessments from their previous stance that Vladimir Putin would not attack while still caught up in a war with Ukraine. Last month, the Telegraph reported that European and U.S. intelligence had picked up on Russia considerations for an armed provocation on Polish soil, missiles or drone attacks against critical infrastructure, or false flag attacks attempting to pin the blame on Ukraine. And vice versa, too. You know, can't leave that out. Moscow was assessed to be planning these options to escalate tensions among NATO allies and to deter them from continuing to support Kyiv. I could see that. You know, NATO is not as strong as what it once was. I could see Russia trying to do something like this to test our resolve, considering how thin we are spread, and if the rumors are true that our missile stockpiles have been depleted because we're just blasting so many missiles over in Iran. We don't have that many.
Like really pounding it hard.
We might be pounding too hard. We might want to do more strategic pounding.
We're pounding it.
So, did you see the post by Duck Lamp in Discord?
No, I did not.
So I don't know if you want to bring it up on screen.
Yeah, maybe I can.
Or I can just read it to you. Here, I'll put it in Carrot Shop just for those watching at home. So I feel like I saw this on Twitter as well. The $4 billion blow in Kiev and the Black Sea. What happened in Ukraine in a single night was described as a logistics earthquake and total paralysis. After hours of successive explosions, the numbers reveal the scale of the disaster. Total scale of losses exceeded $4 billion from Western taxpayers' money and corporate assets, includes $3 billion in direct losses to the agricultural and maritime commercial sectors due to targeting of shipping movements, plus $500 million, $25 billion, hryvnia, whatever. I guess that's Ukrainian money, that evaporated in one night from goods and warehouses of the giants Toyota, Liqui, Moly, Rosette, Epicenter, Puma, must be company. I mean, I know Toyota, but Nature of the targets: complete crushing of logistics arteries and distribution centers, destruction of drone assembly lines, and targeting of 8 cargo ships in Odessa and another city in Ukraine. Amid total paralysis of Patriot systems and a 0% interception rate, the Western media will not broadcast these facts and losses. So apparently this just happened.
It's tough to know what is true. We're not getting a good report from our media of the true situation in Ukraine.
Well, so I think it goes to what you're saying is like they're telegraphing this stuff again, where it's like Russia's going to plan this awful thing. It's like, well, Russia knows that. Like, if you read that, it says the Patriot interceptors weren't able to do anything, probably because they have like a handful where they
don't
used
got
to
a
have
lot left.
more. Yeah, we got to reserve these, man. What if it's like when you're playing Last of Us and you can't just shoot everything. It's not a spray and pray game. You have to be very careful about what you shoot. And they're at that point. And so I don't know. I there's a part of me that feels like they're telegraphing with what you just read, telegraphing that like Russia's going to do this terrible thing, but they already did. And they can't tell us that Russia just was like, you know what? Because what if they killed Lindsey Graham too? You know what I mean? They are poking at us and be like, look, what are you guys gonna do now? What are y'all gonna do? You know, because they know.
I mean, that really hasn't. I haven't heard like a good dispelling of that rumor that, you know, the day before Lindsey Graham was in Ukraine at a drone factory, and then 24 hours later he's dead in the U.S. because of a heart problem. Yeah, I don't think, and we're not talking about him anymore. No one's talking about Lindsey Graham anymore.
I know.
It's one of the most long-lived, influential senators, good or bad, in U.S. history, and no one's talking about him anymore.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Oh yeah. I mean, he gave us a few good news clips to remember him by. He'll always be remembered for this.
The golden shower.
Yeah. God, he said that in the Senate. He talked about golden showers in the Senate.
The golden shower.
Yeah. I mean, they've been saying a lot of fun stuff. Like, remember John Kennedy? We had him saying.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
When he was reading those sexy books for the kids.
That was fantastic when he did all that stuff. Oh God.
This was my ass.
Yeah,
it sure was.
Oh man.
You're going to look so hot.
All right, Joe, we're going to go over to you now. We're going to go over to you.
Oh, God.
Officially.
No.
Officially. Here we go. Oh, wait, that's Kretsch's music. No, this is your music.
This is Moloch.
So I did not follow this guy, but we played him, and I guess because I sent it to my Slack, like now Instagram thinks I love this dude. We'll play it, and then I'll be curious your thoughts on the other side. It'll be similar to the last time we played this dude.
Okay. Let me get this all lined up. There we go.
I just heard one of the rarest and coolest traits that a person can have, and it's called epistemic curiosity. People with epistemic curiosity have a desire to close the gap between knowledge. The connections these people can make between bits of information is astonishing. These are the most intellectual and interesting people on the planet because they've gone deep, deep, deep into a subject, trying to understand it and close the gap between it and their understanding of the world. If you know somebody like this, send this video to them and just let them know how rare they are. They deserve to know. I just heard one of the rarest.
It sounds like you're just talking about conspiracy theorists, and this is just pattern recognition. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, we all do this. Everyone in the OBDM community does this.
I got two more of this guy, and then we'll see what the takeaway is, because I'm starting to put a picture together, but I have questions.
Okay. All right. Well, let's figure this out. Take a second to load. Here we go.
Someone told me that dialectical thinkers are the most advanced thinkers that we have as humans. Once I understood what that meant, couldn't agree more. Welcome to Interesting People for Curious Humans. If you like thinking, you're curious about people, about humans, or maybe you just want to learn something more about yourself, this series is for you. Dialectical thinkers are able to hold two truths at once and explore the space, the nuance in between. There's a fluidity here. It's not black and white. Not being polarized to either side allows dialectical thinkers to see things that people regularly can't. Because of this, they advance us in art, in science, ways of thinking, societal philosophies, you name it. Dialectical thinkers gift us with their ability to explore the nuance. The difference between cognitive dissonance and dialectical thinking is that dialectical thinkers don't get overwhelmed when this occurs. Cognitive dissonance is the ability to hold two truths at once. And yes, that's an incredible skill to have, but most people get overwhelmed by it. Dialectical thinkers are so advanced because they have space, they have flexibility to feel both at once and act unfazed. If you know somebody like this, send this video to them. Let them know how rare they are. And if this is you, you're friggin' amazing. Someone told.
Okay, I'm amazing. Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
He's Thinkmaxxing.
Okay, that's a new term. This guy is a Thinkmaxxer.
Yeah. So what did he say? I've been saying it on the show since I've been doing the show.
You can hold two truths to be in your brain. They both can be true at the same time, but you can explore both the ideas without being overwhelmed.
Yeah. What have I said for the whole show? It's Aristotle's quote.
It
is the mark of an educated mind.
Yeah, to entertain an idea. Oh.
Yeah. So the quote goes, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." So I don't think that the guy is wrong, but like he quadrupled, how simple that expression could be. I guess he explains it. Let's play the last clip because, like I said, he's Thinkmaxxing.
Yeah.
I have questions. Yeah, this is a weird one.
Okay. We're Thinkmaxxing here, people.
That the most advanced thinkers have this one ability. Someone said that the most advanced thinkers have this one ability, and it's called dialectical thinking, where you're able to hold two truths at once that are paradoxical. This is the most advanced way to think because it's not black and white. You're able to see the gray in between. You're
it's
able
a different version of the same shit.
Yeah, this guy is repurposing Thinkmaxxing.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Well, okay, so do you have a takeaway with this yet?
Well, okay. So the terms I think that is using, like he's obviously trying to get the attention. He's trying to make people feel smarter than what they are. That's my takeaway. And this is what everyone normally should be doing. This is like normal, like critical thinking skills to entertain a couple different ideas and explore them and then deliberate on which one may be more true than the other.
How old do you think this guy is?
I would say he's in his late 30s. No, wait, late 20s. I'm looking at his beard.
That's
no gray.
kind of where I would put him. Yeah. I would put him there. And I think he's leaning really hard into being thoughtful and the idea of thinking and being profound and everything. And it makes me wonder if people at that age, like he thinks he's super profound.
Yes.
And I think he might be among his peers because a lot of these kids grow up and it's like, if you've ever watched some of these people use TikTok, you're like, I don't know how you focus on anything. Do you know what I mean? Like when you see kids using their phones, it's like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. And it's like, how do you, like read a book.
So this guy reminds me of when freshmen and sophomores in art school would smoke pot and sit around and talk about art theory, thinking that they were talking about some very elevated, concepts that no one's ever heard of before and really exploring how people interpret and create art. But in the end, it's just a bunch of BS, it was maybe fun and stimulating at the time, but looking back on it, it was just a bunch of BS. Didn't really amount to anything.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it sounded cool,
Yeah.
and it sounded like you were smart, and you smoke enough drugs and drink enough booze and take enough acid, and yeah, everything's fucking brilliant.
But the core of what he's talking about, I believe, is exploring these ideas. Now, you can explore these ideas and different truths on your own. It's, I think, much more beneficial to have conversations with people who have the opposing point of view or have a different view of reality, and you can explore them and come up with some sort of consensus or debate, and hopefully it's meaningful. But that doesn't really happen a lot online. It's singular, like this guy's video. He's talking at you, telling you how smart you are, but he's not even giving his opinion on what is one truth and a second truth at the same time. It would be much more beneficial to his viewers if he gave solid examples of what he's talking about, as opposed to this academic definition of these terms. So he's not even exploring these ideas. He's telling you about these ideas, and to me, he's useless at this point. It's much more interesting to see someone be wrong than tell you of the definition of wrong.
The comments are not like, it's not like the you suck kind of comments, like these really cheap and superficial ones. Like in some cases you can see comments that are like, it's called thinking, it's like kind of what we're discussing. Like, yeah, dude, I remember my first philosophy book or whatever. But it does seem like it's stimulating conversation in a way that is not unhelpful, right? I mean, it makes me think that people of a certain age need this kind of content, because otherwise, like I said, it's like this TikTok world where it's like, I don't think about thinking. I have no internal monologue. Whatever comes across my eyeballs is the thing I'm interested in, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 2 hours.
Yeah, what I mean? One of the comments says here, and here comes all the folks. Oh my God, this is me. I'm so smart. And I think that kind of sums up the comment. And like this guy. So how many followers does this guy have? Like this is his day job, I would imagine.
Nate Gaffney.
Oh, so he's got
about 70,000.
70,000 on Instagram. So he probably has TikTok where you can do. You can't make money on Instagram as far as I know, unless you are selling something.
Oh no, that's what he's doing. Share this video with somebody who is a whatever thinker, and like there's some monetization happening somehow with this guy. Because he's Thinkmaxxing, like the call to action at the back, and share this with somebody who's super smart as well, so that you can tell them how smart you are, and that they're smart, and we're all smart, and look how smart we all are, and give me money. I don't know how that happens, but he's probably doing
he's selling products, Joe. I'm on his personal page right now, his store. He's selling Essential Creators Workbooks for a PDF for $25. He also has a service. He has a content audit. This content audit is a deep dive into your Instagram page. I study your content. I pinpoint what's working and what isn't. And that's $350 per audit. So he's going to walk you through what you're doing wrong. It's a full review of recent content, what's landing, what's failing. So he's basically you point an AI at your page, and so this is what he's doing. Anything to not work, huh? I guess.
Yes, man. Yeah. We're all going to be influencers, okay?
I'm trying to be an influence. I'm not influencing anybody.
No.
See,
not influencing me.
I'm not. It's hard to make any sort of needle move around here anymore.
Yep. What you got?
No, I was just looking at the rest of his Instagram. I'm now subscribed to his Instagram. I'm following him.
Good. I'm not following him, but I get plenty of his content just because I shared it with my own Slack channel. So, however, we don't get a lot of that 5 times August or whatever. It was this band. They did a lot of good work, kind of just doing what punk rock and what rock and roll used to do, like protest music.
This one came across the Instagrams, and I was like, that reminds me of a time when musicians actually had stuff to say. And I'd be curious because you'll be doing your first show here in 10 years or whatever it is. But, Viking rock, I don't know how much that challenged the establishment, but this feels like it. Yes. No, you're just out there drinking and
having fun.
Making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, having fun. This guy, I don't know. I'd be curious your thoughts.
Let's check him out. Bring it up on play a clip, please.
J.D. Vance, Vice President Peter Thiel bought J.D. Vance, Vice President slot. Peter Thiel's ex-boyfriend fell from a high-rise right after they fought. Peter Thiel's giving lectures on the Antichrist, where he talks about himself in third person inverted so he can sleep better at night. Peter Thiel wants a doomsday bunker out in New Zealand, so he can hide away from the apocalypse in part started by him. Net worth 26 billion, he's got nothing behind the eyes. Wants to build a machine god so that he never dies. But are you sure you're really living when you miss the point of life? Peter Thiel.
Okay, my honest assessment, this guy is writing the exact same songs I am writing with AI by just using news articles for my lyrics. And so, back in the day when there were protest songs, like back in the 60s, 70s, it seems like you would talk about the subject without really talking about it. So it kind of hit on multiple different levels. And this guy is just naming the people. There's I guess there's something, straightforward, beating people over the head with telling the people exactly what you're talking about, how you feel, and there's no ambiguity with your song whatsoever. So there's something to that, but it also dates the song very heavily. Like this song that he's singing right here is very of 2024, 2025, and I doubt people are going to be singing this song in 40 years talking about Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance because it's not that catchy of a song. But I kind of respect it in a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, I found it catchy. That's my kind of music to a degree.
It's a little indie, it's a little jangly. I kind of like it. Let me hear it.
J.D. Vance, Vice President slot.
We'll go to his Instagram. Let's listen to another one.
Okay.
See if it's a style, because he's got. I'll just be curious to what you gravitate to. I put the link. It should be the top level of his reels. But he's got like the text on screen. If only Zelensky had a nice suit. Christian Zionism. Alex Pretty.
Greenland. He's got the problem with ice. Greenland. So yeah, he's basically singing songs about the news. Current events lyrics, and this is exactly what I do with AI. It's just I don't spend like he's doing it with guitar and his own talent. I'm using no talent because I don't waste my time on this.
Let's hear the Zelensky one. I'm curious.
Okay. Which one? How far down is that one?
It's on the top row.
Top row. Okay. Oh, there. Here we go.
They say dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. If only Zelensky had a nice suit and didn't wear all black to match with his troops while they get ravaged by a tin of poo. The Oval Office packed with a bunch of fucking squares saying we understand you're in despair, but was there nothing nicer that you could wear? We understand your country's being attacked unjustly, but would it kill you to say thank you and please? We're taking time away from our fascist regime to try and help you keep your peace. How dare you talk over me, talking over you? How dare you talk over me, yelling over you? If only Zelensky had a nice suit, maybe there'd be something that we could do. If only Zelensky had a nice suit, a 10K Brioni and navy blue, a white shirt and a red tie, no one else would have to die.
singing it ironically, like from the Republican perspective, I believe here. I kind of, I like what he's doing to a certain degree. I just wish his lyrics were more well formed, and a little catchier. He needs hooks. He needs a better hook and a better chorus. I think his ideas are there. He needs to work with, I think, a team of producers, and he could take it to the next level.
I think, for a lo-fi guy to just be writing stuff. Yeah. I mean, he could polish any of these up.
These are one-offs.
He's probably going for quantity than, quality. I think if he honed in on a couple of these and really worked them, he could probably get there.
I want to hear the problem with ice. I'm kind of curious of what he's talking about with the problem with ice. Here we go.
It's time for a sing-along. The problem with ice is that the problem they fight isn't really a problem for anyone in sight. I've been in America for my whole life. Lived in the city and the suburbs so trite. Toured every state multiple times. Never once was an immigrant a problem of mine. I saw them working hard and I saw them being kind. I saw more criminals in the House of White. There's bad seeds in every race, color, and creed, but those pale pointing fingers cause the most harm. Historically, the problem with ice is that the problem they fight isn't really a problem for anyone in sight.
Yeah, so he's a good guitar player when it comes to like finger picking. Like he's got a really good rhythm hand, and to be able to sing and do that, he's very talented. He's just shoehorning lyrics though, and it should be a little bit more elegant. Let's see what he says about Renee Good. Now I'm just reviewing his music, Joe. So, I mean, he does have Peter Thiel and Palantir. He's got Ahmed. So he's doing good. He's got like 100,000 subscribers on Instagram. What is his? Laura Loomer. Let's see what he says about Laura Loomer.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm curious now.
Laura Loomer, fake news influencer, got a desk at the Pentagon. Congrats, bro. Conspiracy theorist, openly racist, Zionist, homo Islamophobe. Hobbies including calling school shootings a hoax and playing the puppet in Saw. Lab test results found more silicone in her words than the face they can't wait to escape from. Ran for Congress twice and lost both times. Did not concede and just said it was stolen.
What this guy is really showing me that I was really onto something 2 years ago when I was doing lyrics and songs with just the news. And I might have to relaunch my band and my efforts to develop songs under that guise. If this guy is doing it, I'm an old fuddy-duddy at this point. And this guy is a young, fresh face folk singer talking about stuff. And he's found his niche. I can't do what he does, that's for sure. But he's found his audience, basically just talking about the news, things you read on probably Blue Sky, TikTok, and he's turning those opinions into songs. In fact, he's saying this song about Charlie Kirk, Joe, so pay attention. Let's see what he says about Charlie. This is the last one, okay? But I saw this, and we have to let's see what he says. Who does he blame for Charlie Kirk?
Charlie Kirk was a fucking jerk, but he didn't deserve to die. We did not agree on a single thing, but he should still be alive. Like all those kids in school of Palestine. When you go, who you were is all that gets left behind. When you go, it's up or down, no more left or right. Neither side should weaponize or add more to the great divide. Focus on precious life or the Epstein files. Charlie Kirk was a fucking jerk, but he wanted them in the public eye. For all we know, a sniper might have come from the inside.
That was a short song right there. If you will, a micro song, which I did start. Okay. Okay. Interesting little take. His name is Ron Gallo. I think it's Ron.
But he's obviously not up to speed. I wonder if he would have the same things to say now, because that's part of the conspiracy with Charlie Kirk is that I didn't have a whole lot of understanding or knowledge about who Charlie Kirk was until all that stuff happened. But, this guy is still under the impression that Charlie Kirk was a Zionist and that he's bigoted and so forth. But obviously now we know that he was becoming more and more, the Israeli Zionist lobby was more hostile to him because he was questioning things that obviously you're not supposed to question because they're control freaks who want a dystopian technocratic future where they can monitor everybody and police speech and whatever, drink baby blood. And so Charlie Kirk was not necessarily the guy defined in his lyrics right there, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and this is, I think, the fault of the artist not doing enough research when you're talking about news events.
And part of the problem with why they had to get rid of Charlie Kirk is because, one, he was talking about October 7th being stand down orders and an excuse to do ethnic cleansing in Gaza, and two, he was beyond questioning Israel. He was putting up Dave Smith and Tucker Carlson, and I guess for a third thing, he was big on the Epstein thing. He was saying the guy's probably Mossad.
Yeah,
this is really not helpful if you're trying to start a war with Iran and Israel is a big part of the whole thing. And Charlie Kirk can command an entire swath of young men.
Yeah. And this is I guess more of Charlie Kirk's beliefs and ideas got exposed after he died and dissected because he's not producing any new content. So people are going back through everything that he ever said in order to demonize him or to explain what maybe happened to him.
Yeah.
And, I wonder if this guy's going to write about magnets now. Trump's talking about magnets. Is he going to write a song about magnets? If he doesn't, I will.
To follow up. Yeah, you're going to need to. So we talked about Ukraine and Charlie Kirk. So let's just do 2 clips of those. I wasn't planning on it, but I did find these clips, or they came across this week. And so the Ukraine one is just horrifying because we've seen these over and over again, but they tell us in the news Ukrainians want to fight. They really want to beat Russia. They're such patriots, blah, blah, blah. So you tell me if this is patriotic.
Okay. We're going to find out if this is patriotic. Here we go. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. This is... So I can pause it on screen. I can just read what's going on and explain what's going on at home for people listening. This is the reality of conscription in Ukraine. A woman screaming for her boyfriend as he's brutally dragged out of a car to be sent to the front lines in the meat grinder. And obviously, that's an opinion statement. Meanwhile, the politicians who send people to die on both sides gleefully claim they're winning, but both never have to pay the price. And yeah, the shot is inside of a car. This woman's holding on to her husband or boyfriend, desperately trying to prevent him from being conscripted. And I don't think that she is going to wind up succeeding here. This is a tough one.
And these scenes are not rare.
No, they're not.
We've seen these for years now. And so obviously they were, what are they not lying about? They're lying that these people want to fight, but this is Hey, where do you want to go for brunch? Oh, let's try that place that just opened up the street. Oh, then you get, dragged out of a car when they throw a gun in your hands.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know, man. It's just like, again, daddy, chill.
Yes. It's so sad to see. It's so sad to see. But this is the way it goes. I mean, we could probably see something like this in Russia too. People being conscripted there. We know it happens in other countries. Thankfully, we haven't seen this in the United States, at least not yet. Yeah.
So then, because Charlie Kirk came up, let's go ahead and play this because, like I said, that guy. This is just one of several examples. I mean, people should watch the debate with Josh Hammer and Dave Smith at the last Turning Point USA event that Charlie Kirk was a part of, where Tucker was there and they were talking openly about Israel and the Mossad and just what a it was that moment where it was like, that is definitely probably where a lot of conversations about this whole thing started. And there's no way in the world you can convince me that Charlie Robinson or whoever
Charlie Robinson, what did he do to you?
Whatever, Tyler Robinson, whoever the hell they're, not him. Sorry.
Tyler
Robinson. Yeah, whoever they're saying shot him with a 30-06. Like, come on, the Kennedy thing was enough. All right, the moon landing. Just stop, please.
I agree. So
anyway, this is Charlie Kirk getting himself in more trouble.
Oh boy, he won't stop even though he's not alive.
Yeah.
But I got text about you, Megan, saying, why is Megan doing the bidding of Hamas? I was like, what are you talking about? Megan's the best. What? She's amazing. And I said, why are you texting me about Megan? And I at that point, and so this is what they don't understand. You and I, Megan, and Tucker is in the same category, and they've tried to go after Tucker.
Yeah.
Is that the more you attack our moral character, the more we're going to double down in a direction because
100%.
Screw you, I don't do it that way, okay? And I will say this. The behavior by a lot, both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro-Hamas, not like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I am learning biblical Hebrew and writing a book on the Shabbat. I honor the Shabbat. Literally the Jewish Sabbath. I visit Israel and fight for it. And there's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Why are you? What am I doing? I'm sorry. Let's just take a step back here. I'm an American citizen.
And okay, well, that's not good. You don't want to be that. Not if you have an opinion.
I mean, there were a bunch of these things that were going on right towards, right as things kind of came to a head, but between Ukraine and the Charlie Kirk thing and the Iran war and magnets and all that, it's seriously though, daddy, chill.
Hey, real quick, I just wrote a song about magnets. Here it is. It's just like that one guy we were listening to.
And I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets, do magnets, okay? I'll tell you how to make money. Do magnets. You're doing a lot of great stuff, do magnets. 'Cause one thing we don't have, but we're getting close, but do magnets.
I love this.
There we go. It's do magnets.
All right, man. I think you already outdid that guy.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to go back to Iceland for one reason and one reason alone. Did you see this Rabbi Shmuley stuff?
I saw just a little bit of this. And
oh my God. This guy is the reason, he's the reason people become antiseptic.
Yeah. So this guy's in Iceland? Okay.
Rabbi Shmuley is in Iceland. He's in Reykjavik in a lot of these videos.
All right, we'll just play the clip.
Like, beyond him being ugly is all hell, he's just an asshole.
That's not a good combination.
Yeah.
So 1 second, hold on. You just made me hang up on my attorney. I told you it was on the phone. I told you I didn't want to interrupt, and you said you said to my Shmuley, you said that you were a big fan. You lied through your teeth, and then you said fuck Israel. Why would you do that? I'm an American. I'm a visitor here. Now you're pretending you don't speak English? Listen, this is going to go out to the whole world. I was sitting on a call with my attorney. Very important call. I could not have been more pleasant to you or your girlfriend. Both of you walked up together and you said, "Are you Rabbi Shmuley Mendy?" And I said, "Yes." Then you said, "I'm a big fan. Can I do a video?" I said, "I'm on a call." I begged you to wait. I'm sorry. Just for you to tell me to fuck Israel. Do you hate Jews that much?
I'm sorry, my friend.
Do you hate Jews that much?
I said, welcome to Iceland, my friend.
And then?
I'm sorry, my friend. I don't know.
Tell him what happened.
He said, I'm a huge fan. Then he just walked up to you and said, fuck Israel.
All right, guys. Welcome to Iceland.
Sick abuse of someone telling him you're a fan so that you could curse him out. That is so screwed up. Like, what the fuck?
You want me to tell the world?
Who even thinks that a way to do things?
You want me to tell the world? Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel.
No, let him say it.
Yeah.
Fuck Israel.
Trying to harass.
What about? Wait. What about? No. Say what you said. Fuck Israel.
How many times? Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck the genocide going on. Fuck.
I will. Nothing to do with that, and you know it.
Let him
History will not favor the genocide that you are behind. All right.
Okay. So let me. Wait. So let me ask you one question. Wait. Mandy. One second. But you're a brave man who's prepared to say fuck Israel.
I know.
Okay. So So my name's Rabbi Shmuley.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
What's your name?
My name is Samuel.
Samuel what?
That doesn't matter. Man.
Oh, suddenly you're not. Suddenly you're a coward.
Like, what is he trying to do?
He's trying to dox him, is what he's trying to do. And
he's being a dick.
He's getting so offended because he's over in Iceland. This guy has his own opinion about the world. And so he's just there to challenge and harass him. And this video goes on for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
8 minutes that, granted, did this Icelander have to do that? No, but Rabbi Shmuley, who should be a centered, religious, spiritual man, say, okay, you know what? That's his opinion. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to go spread good joy and goodwill in the face of adversity. But no, he's going around harassing this guy,
I'm sure this guy is probably going to be fine just not dealing with Shmuley, but Shmuley is such a fucking neurotic control freak asshole. Like, he can't just let it go. Okay, so this guy doesn't like me. I'm just going to, I'm in Reykjavik. I'm going to continue to travel. Where does he have a friend at all or a girl? Like, Rabbi Shmuley is such a disgusting person. It's really wild that, I don't know, man.
Oh, I think
I don't know what
he does have a friend there with him. It does sound like he is traveling with somebody, and there's somebody off camera backing up Rabbi Shmuley about what occurred, and so I think he has a travel companion.
Maybe. Okay, so there's a bunch of these. So this is him in a bar. He just needs to take a hint, dude. Take a hint.
You should take a chill pill, and he's not taking it as prescribed. He's not. Here we go.
Israel, stop the Hey, he's not welcome. He's not welcome. He's not welcome. He's not welcome.
Wow.
He is not welcome.
It's a hell of a nightclub.
He is not
He wants them to call the police. What is wrong with you, dude? There's a bunch of these videos. He's over there just being a complete fucking schmuck. The Reykjavik it's like Iceland itself. I don't know what the population is now, but
just go look it up.
Around 300,000. It's not a lot of people, and this is like. You would do this in a small town, and it's like everybody knows. You know what I mean? You don't have anywhere to hide, dude. Everyone's going to know you're in town, and everybody's going to be prepared to tell you exactly what you need to hear, which is fuck off, fuck Israel, fuck your genocide, and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a very small place. I'm sure everyone kind of knows each other there at that point,
that's true.
You're coming in there as a rabble rouser. So I'm looking up, almost 400,000 people live in Iceland. So Columbus, Ohio is bigger than Iceland, like that's population-wise.
Right.
It's crazy. So yeah, it's probably, if you've been there for a generation or two, you're going to know different family names. And it's probably pretty easy to rabble rouse and go over there and disrupt. So are you going over there for goodwill to make friends? Or are you going over there to create problems and disrupt? It sounds like Rabbi Shmuley is a disruptor.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to go back to Iceland because he's probably going to be gone by then and I don't have to worry about him showing up.
Yeah.
Because it was a nice, peaceful place.
It does sound...
Without him...
It looks like you might have to start drinking. It looks like a big drinking culture over there, Joe.
It is you know what? They have some really nice little bars there. Can't say enough good things. But, you can't, like, Shmuley can't go over there and just be, like, kind and interested and curious. And you know what I mean? Like, he has to get in fights about Israel or something. Like, shut up. Shut up.
They want you to believe what they believe. Yeah. And they don't seek to understand why a person is saying that and what led them to that conclusion. They just don't want to hear it and tell you that we're going to call the cops on you.
I had a couple more of those. I can't seem to find them. But anyway, there's this AI is perfect. And this is sort of this. Oh, maybe this is the one. There's two of them if you want to play them. I don't need to play all these. We can get the phones going. But these are kind of funny because they're nice exaggerations of exactly who this guy is.
Okay, I'll bring this up on the screen. Here we go.
Anti-Semite! He's an anti-Semite! He threatened me! He wants to throw me in a gas chamber! Did you see that? Call 911! Help! Anti-Semite! He wants to
it's a
turn
perfect
me into
caricature.
Yeah.
So it's Rabbi Shmuley chasing somebody and pretending like he's the victim, which is exactly what he's doing in Iceland. He's like chasing people down, harassing them, and then pretending like they're attacking him somehow.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to do and to reverse the roles. It's classic tactic.
More.
Yeah, I see this. I'm going to bring it up on screen.
It's great.
Did you have a negative thought about the state of Israel? Why do you want to kill me? You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Why are you harassing me? Is it because I'm Jewish?
It's good.
Those are good. So it's a nod to the sewer Jews because it opens up with Rabbi Shmuley emerging from a sewer.
It's funny. It's good. Oh boy.
I'll stop.
Yeah, we're gonna open up the phones here right now. Take a few phone calls, and then I gotta go get ready for my show here. I have to iron my Viking costume. I have to iron and fluff my Viking costume. Can't smell like 9-year-old loincloth. That's bad. If you guys want to give a call in, 513-461-2175. And we'll leave the phone lines open for just a little bit.
Now let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
Yes, 513-461-2175. Opened the phone lines a little bit on Wednesday. Had some good callers there. Definitely a heavily UFO paranormal show on Wednesday. That's for sure. But you can call up with anything you want to talk about. Doesn't have to be Iceland. It could be the brand new song about magnets, which is fun too. You can call up about that if you want.
I hope you're gonna do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets. Do magnets, okay? I'll tell you how to make
Spider-Man.
Have you seen Spider-Man?
No, I've been trying to avoid it.
I think I might go see Spider-Man. It's going to reach $1 billion.
I'm going to watch it. Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
It's going to be, it's a blockbuster.
Yeah, I watched the previous one just to get myself ready for the new one.
I got to say, the Spider-Man movies, by and large, pretty good. Pretty entertaining movies. I don't mind them.
They're not the worst when it comes to the Marvel.
Yeah, well, because Sony does it. Like Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. They lend him.
Do they still own it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, they lend it.
So there's some stipulation in the licensing agreement where if they fail to produce like a new Spider-Man movie, say like for 5 years, then the rights go back to Marvel. But as long as they keep pumping out more Sony,
I think
production,
it's with Marvel.
Really? Did they got him back? I don't think so.
Because that's how he ended up with Iron Man and all that other stuff.
I think that's a special licensing agreement with Sony and Marvel in order to get that back. So I'm going to look this up right now.
Yeah.
Sony.
The phones are dead.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk to us today.
And Marvel. Yeah. It's okay. You guys don't, no pressure. You guys do not have to call in. Not a big deal. We can talk about Spider-Man for the next 20 minutes, and I will. So here it is. Marvel sold licensed Spider-Man's film rights to Sony in the late 1990s when Marvel was in serious financial trouble. Yes. Sony therefore controls theatrical Spider-Man films and a large group of Spider-Man related characters such as Venom, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Morbius. The current setup is basically Marvel Disney owns the underlying Spider-Man IP, such as comics and much of the merchandising. Sony controls Spider-Man movie franchises and distributes the standalone Spider-Man movies. Marvel Studios and Sony cooperate on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Marvel Studios helps produce the films, and Spider-Man is allowed to exist inside the MCU alongside the Avengers characters. Sony still benefits financially from the standalone Spider-Man films, while Marvel Disney benefits from the Spider-Man merchandise and from having the characters inside the MCU. So there you go. It's like a joint ownership, or I guess Sony still has the license to do this stuff, but Disney is, I guess, still the underlying owner of it and now. Yeah, Sony has not sold the movie rights back to Marvel. As of August 2026, Sony still controls them. The newest Tom Holland movie remains a Sony release produced in collaboration with Marvel Studios. Maybe that's why the movies are so good. Sony is kind of really in control of Spider-Man. If you look at has Superman been as good as Spider-Man lately? No. What's the latest superhero movie that has done as well as Spider-Man? I don't know. I think it's just Spider-Man. He's like the number one box office superhero at this point.
Yeah, they keep trying to pump out these lady superhero movies.
They just don't do as well.
Nobody wants to see that.
They don't do as well. They just don't. They may be the best movies ever, but they're just not bringing in the same box office that Spider-Man is. So it's just the way it goes. Superhero things, by and large, is kind of like a dude thing. You know?
Yeah,
guys want to see guys.
Big, they do well, and women don't really care about superhero movies, and guys don't really care about women being in. Like, they're not concerned about sexual diversity or diversity really at all in superhero movies.
Not really.
I just want to watch superhero movies.
I think it's in our DNA. Guys are drawn towards these action movies, action comic book heroes, and we want to see ourselves to a certain degree in those characters. And I don't know. I just think there's something at a base level there. So, all right, fine. We'll take a phone call.
There we are.
They hung up. I got to it, and they hung up. So okay, we're gonna move on. Oh wait, here we go. Caller, you're on the line with Joe and Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Who are we talking to?
John.
John, what is on your mind, John?
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Love your show.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure every time an episode comes out. I'm a old Art Bell fan. Been listening since like the late '90s. and I know that you are a huge Art Bell fan yourself, and I was going to ask you what your favorite episode is, or if you have one. Say pick from the top 5 or something.
Well, it's not necessarily one particular episode. The great thing about Art Bell is that if you listen long enough, he had storylines. And you got to say, for me, it's the Mel's Hole storyline of those series of calls into Art Bell. And I think that was just captivating radio, because this guy had supposedly a bottomless pit in his backyard that he would just shove anything into, whether it was an old refrigerator, a cow, or a rope, to figure out what was going on back there. And it was compelling radio. And that's the great thing about Art Bell, is that he didn't decide on air whether someone was telling the truth or not. He just rolled with it in order to allow the person on the phone or his guest to just explain their point of view, their story, and it created a lot of drama and interest, and that's why Art Bell was a genius.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, totally. I would probably put that right up there. And did you follow it into the New Mexico part of the storyline where it got like crazier, where he met the Basque farmers and they like lowered a sheep into the hole? They found another hole in New Mexico. You know what?
It's been so long since I've listened to the storyline. I don't remember key elements of the story. It's been a while.
It was a crazy. I remember he said, no, I don't remember if it was New Mexico or Nevada, but it was in the Southwest. He met these Basque sheep herders, and they had another similar hole that had these properties, and it had like a ring around it that had been there for some time. While he was there, they lowered like a sheep or a goat into the hole. Something happened, like the line shook and all that, and then they pulled it back up. And if I remember correctly, it was dead, but it was like bloated, so they cut it open, and out came this weird-looking like seal-type creature with big glassy eyes, and it stared at them all for like a few minutes each, and then it just fell back into the hole. But apparently one of the guys that was there had cancer, and when he like went back to his place in the city or whatever, he was clear. So there was some other weird stuff that happened at the end of that story.
Yeah, it's like with the Art Bell stuff, or the Art Bell, and specifically the Mel Hole storyline. It involved, I believe, it ended up that the military got involved with Mel's Hole, and they basically covered it up, and it became a quarantine site. No one could go near it, and that's the end of the story. And we have had no more follow up after over 20 years at this point. Right.
Personally, my favorite was, well, I guess favorite is subjective, but I happened to catch the hyperdimensional freakout caller live when that happened. The guy who was on the beginning of that Tool song. Oh yes, that's the infamous where he said he was at Area 51 and it's not what they are not what they appear to be, and then the whole power of the station cuts out at a very critical moment. Yep, and he was off air for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah. Now, it's come out later. I mean, this is the explanation online that guy was LARPing, and that. But on the phone line, it sounds pretty emotional. What do you think? What do you think about that call? Is it legit or is it a LARP? If he was LARPing, he was a very good actor. That's my read on it. You know what? I think that might be. I'm gonna play that. Area 51 phone call. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it's not like super long. And let's see here. Best of Art Bell, Area 51 caller. Yeah, I'll play part of this on the way out because we're gonna be getting out of here soon. So, what was your name again? John. John. Hey, thank you for calling up, my friend. Thank you for listening. Thank you, guys. Blow me up. All right, you got it. Yeah, I guess to go out on something a little bit. Here's a part of the Area 51 caller that John was just talking about. And it's part of a Tool song.
Prolific smoke and choke into South America, north to the pole. This is...
That's Art Bell. Here we go. I'm going to fast forward.
Sing. It's going to be your night to sing. It'd be fun to see if we get any calls. On my Area 51 line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
a former employee. I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to.
I'll leave it right there. I mean, that was a crazy call from the Art Bell Show, and from 1997, September 11th, 1997, that call was made. And I would say it was a pretty convincing one. You know, the guy was able to muster up that emotion and really deliver it and create an iconic piece of radio right there.
Yeah. And there's the September 11th thing is pretty interesting, but then I don't know, with the most recent alien disclosure stuff, I mean, even Tucker and a lot of these people, when they start talking about it, they do talk about it as like they're extra dimensional. They have relationships with the military. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard of that call or maybe heard it a while ago, but it's nice to revisit.
Yeah, and it goes on a little longer, about 2 more minutes, and then the power gets cut on the entire radio station. Art Bell comes back, and thus the legend is born. But, have there been disasters in the past 30 years since that call has been made? Yes. I'll go back and dissect that call and see if anything you said has come to pass. We'll see.
Yeah, you do that.
I will. Until that time, we're going to get the heck out of here. We've done enough damage.
Pop this up on screen. Tell me. Oh, I put it in there. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm going to have to ask. I'm going to ask Claude or ChatGPT.
Is this Rabbi Shmuley's son?
Yeah. Is that?
It looks like a caricature.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of this.
I know.
It's very concerning what I'm seeing right here. I don't know what to think.
Look at that guy. I mean, look at that face.
Yeah.
Well, we wish him all the best.
It's just. If by Rabbi Shmuley you mean Shmuley Botek, then yes, he does have sons, including Mendy, Yosef, David, However, I can't verify that the person shown in that particular X post is his son from the link alone.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you have to upload the video. It doesn't do links. It needs an image. You have to download the image.
Yeah.
Even though the image comes from Parody Jeff. So watch out. Parody Jeff might be posting stuff that isn't true.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
I can verify the family connection, but I can't determine whether the particular person pictured is Rabbi Shmuley Botek.
Well, thanks, AI.
Photograph.
Computer's broke.
Whoever it is, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
and Rabbi Shmuley is disgusting.
I think I've seen him on Alex Jones a few times.
Who, Rabbi Shmuley?
Yeah, I think he's been on Alex Jones' show a few times.
Yeah, he's been on them too.
Oh boy,
cause trouble, I suppose.
Yeah, just go to OBDM1413, people. Cratchit will be back in about a week or two. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
I feel unsafe without him.
He is a very comforting person to be here. He provides a lot of security. That's his title here. He is my spiritual advisor and head of security here. So
that's right.
We're very vulnerable without him. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
I need to go to the bathroom. People have to go.
Use it like a toilet.
He's a piece of toilet paper.
Walking.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Demons take craps in.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
Do magnets. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Do magnets. Because one thing we don't have, but we're getting close, but do magnets.